Harland David Sanders was born on September 9, 1890, in Henryville, Indiana. His family was poor, living in a small farmhouse, struggling to make ends meet. When Harland was just 6 years old, tragedy struck. His father died, leaving his mother to take care of the children. His mother worked long hours at a cannery to provide food, and Harland, still only a child, was forced to grow up quickly. He had to take care of his younger siblings, cooking meals and doing household chores. That early experience of cooking for survival planted the first seed of what would one day become a worldwide empire. But at that time, it was simply a necessity. He never dreamed it would change his life. School was not easy for Harland. He dropped out in 7th grade after struggling with academics and conflicts with his stepfather. With little education, he turned to work wherever he could find it. Over the years, he worked as a farmhand, a streetcar conductor, a railroad fireman, a soldier, an insurance salesman, and even a ferryboat operator. Each time he thought he had found a path, it would end in failure. By the age of 40, Harland Sanders had already lived the lives of 10 different men, and yet, he had almost nothing to show for it. But life had another plan for him. In the early 1930s, Sanders moved to Corbin, Kentucky, where he opened a small service station for travelers. There, he began cooking meals for those who stopped by. He didn't have a restaurant yet. He simply cooked in the back of the station, serving people in his dining room and even on his own kitchen table. His fried chicken, prepared with a unique blend of 11 herbs and spices, started to gain a reputation. People loved it. Soon, the little service station expanded into a cafe. Sanders' cooking became well known, and in 1936, the governor of Kentucky awarded him the honorary title of Colonel, in recognition of his contribution to the state's cuisine. It seemed that at last, his hard work was paying off. But just when things looked promising, disaster struck again. In the 1950s, a new interstate highway was built that bypassed Corbin. The traffic that once kept Sanders' restaurant alive disappeared almost overnight. His business collapsed. At the age of 65, Colonel Sanders was left with nothing but his secret chicken recipe, a small social security check, and a dream that seemed impossible. Most people at that age would have given up. They would have accepted defeat, retired quietly, and faded into the background. But not Sanders. He believed his chicken recipe was something special, something worth sharing with the world. And so, instead of surrendering, he took his recipe and went on the road. Picture this. A 65-year-old man, driving from restaurant to restaurant, sleeping in his car, knocking on doors, and trying to convince owners to buy his fried chicken recipe. He didn't ask for money up front. Instead, he proposed a partnership. The restaurants would use his recipe, and he would receive a small share for every chicken sold. It sounded simple, but convincing people was not easy. He was rejected not once, not 10 times, not 100 times, but more than 1,000 times. Over 1,000 restaurants told him no. They laughed at him, dismissed him, and told him he was wasting his time. Think about that. How many of us would keep going after 10 rejections? How many after 100? Colonel Sanders faced over 1,000 rejections, yet he refused to quit. He believed in his recipe, and more importantly, he believed in himself. Finally, one restaurant said yes. Then another. Slowly, his fried chicken began to spread. What started as a dream carried in the trunk of his car turned into a growing franchise business. By the early 1960s, Kentucky Fried Chicken was becoming a household name. At 73 years old, Sanders sold his company to a group of investors for $2 million, a fortune at that time. But even after selling, he remained the face of KFC, traveling the world in his iconic white suit and black bow tie, promoting the brand he had built from scratch. Colonel Sanders didn't become a millionaire until most people his age were long retired. He didn't build his empire in his 20s, or 30s, or even 40s. He built it in his 60s and 70s. His story proves one of the greatest lessons of all: it is never too late to chase your dreams.